It's been an interesting court case. The students have indeed emerged victorious. I understand that you were the SRC president.
Indeed, Mfundo, the students feel vindicated after a long court battle this evening, and the judge, before adjourning the first session of the court, said that both sides should come together because he's not about to throw a student in the streets, in the crime-ridden streets of Mthatha. So they came together and spoke about it and reached an amicable solution. So yes, I am with the president of the SRC at Walter Sisulu, Balungile Madikizela. How do you feel, Balungile?
Sisi, it's a relief. Firstly, the journey that we've been through to get here, because it's not every day that SRCs have the audacity to take the university to court. We feel relieved not only on behalf of ourselves but our constituency as well, even their parents, because parents were reaching out to us throughout the whole process, crying, talking about how maybe we can assist finding their students, their children, places to find shelter up until the 5th of May, because they do not have finances to bring them back home in the other provinces. So what has happened here today is proof that indeed, for as long as we fight and we're determined in our cause, we shall prevail.
When we spoke earlier, you raised concern that if you are evicted from the university, there'll be a few students who will go to court on Tuesday, as we know that the suspect who allegedly shot the student is appearing. So do you think there is enough of you now?
Definitely, Sisi, definitely. I think our initial goal was to show as much support as possible to the family of the deceased student. And with our constituency now physically available in campus, I do believe that all students who sympathize with the family will come out in large numbers to support in the peaceful march that will be happening on Tuesday morning.
So where to from now?
Well, firstly, now we need to go back to our constituency and communicate this excellent news. The next step would be what we had mentioned earlier on, which is that we still are open to engagements with the management, that we should definitely go back to the round table and discuss whatever issues are outlying between us so that we prevent a situation of this nature.
The issue of malicious damage to property was talked about here tonight. So are you committing that none of that will be happening at the institution?
Well, for me to commit that it will never happen again would be me admitting that the first time it happened, it was actually done by the students, which is not the case. I think as the night goes on, we will be releasing videos onto social media of who actually had damaged those university properties. You will be seeing the so-called security personnel that was sent to protect us, kicking doors, shooting windows, and etc. So I am at no liberty to commit that we will not damage property again when we've never done that in the first place. But what we can recommend to the management is that it reaches out to its security personnel, state very clear boundaries and their role that they should be playing on campus instead of terrorizing students.
Thank you very much. That is the president of the SRC at Walter Sisulu University. And I believe that the Kolanisi, the RTT member of the EFF, is also having an announcement to make tonight. What is that announcement?
Well, ma'am, after careful consideration and fruitless expenditure of having to defend a matter that is as straightforward as this one by Walter Sisulu University, I will indeed write to members of Parliament, particularly the SCOPA, so that they can actually obtain as to how much was paid to these attorneys, how much was the legal bill, and how much was paid to the council. Because we can't be having these much expenditures going to waste. Each and every time students want to engage with management, they act all big. Even when students humble themselves and come to court, it had to take Judge Jolwana to actually intervene into something that the management could have easily fixed. So by Tuesday, I would have submitted the letter to members of Parliament, SCOPA to be particular, inviting them to Walter Sisulu and conducting an oversight, and also particularly forcing the university to share with the public as to how much is it that they have spent in this court case.
Your thought on the verdict tonight?
Well, the verdict tonight came from a judge which is very sober and very eloquent. And what I liked about him the most is that he practiced what is called judicial temperament. He listened to all sides of the stories. Even though you know the nature of an urgent matter will have discrepancies, but he did not dwell on discrepancies. He dwelled on the fact that he is a parent and the matters at hand are urgent and life-threatening.
Thank you very much, Ncedo Kolanesi, the member of the RTT of the EFF. And earlier on, we spoke to the Abatembu King Kaya Dalinjebo, who came to support the students on their bid to have the eviction notice overthrown. And he said that he believes that throwing the students on the street is very wrong.